Hurricane Sandy is still on the move and doesn't plan on slowing down anytime soon. Good morning, it's currently 1 degree. I'm Jake Bean with CRFM News, brought to you by the Candor College Journalism Program. Hurricane Sandy strengthened before dawn this morning and remains on course to hit Canada tonight with howling winds and drenching rain after blowing through the U.S. eastern seaboard. Hundreds of Air Canada flights have already been affected, and the airline is advising travelers to check the status of their flights ahead of time. The Canadian Hurricane Centre expects the so-called Frankenstorm to punish parts of southern and eastern Ontario and western Quebec with potentially damaging winds up to 100 kilometers per hour. The centre said the rainfall amounts will vary from 20 millimeters in some areas to well over 50 millimeters in others, and it says that rain could change into snow over central Ontario as of 8 a.m. Monday, the storm was centered about 500 kilometers south-southeast of New York City, moving to the north at 32.2 kilometers an hour, with hurricane-force winds extending an unusual 280 kilometers from its center. The Netherlands is getting close to a new coalition government after lawmakers from the two biggest parties approved a policy deal hammered out by their leaders. Caretaker Prime Minister Mark Rutte, leader of the Pro-Free Market VVD party, and central-left party chief Diederik Samson have been negotiating behind closed doors for weeks to resolve policies for their proposed coalition. The policy blueprint, which includes instituting austerity measures involving billions of euros, is expected to be released later Monday. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is on a 5-day trip overseas to increase pressure on Mali's al-Qaeda-linked rebels and to help Balkan nations end simmering ethnic and political disagreements. Clinton arrived in Algeria on Monday after moving up her trip by a day to beat an East Coast storm. With Algeria's president, she'll discuss the crisis in the south of Mali, where European and African countries are considering military intervention against radical Islamists. Clinton then visits Bosnia, Serbia, Kosovo, and Albania. She is aiming to advance each of their NATO and European Union aspirations. Serbia doesn't recognize Kosovo, and the two dispute borders and minority issues. Bosnia's power is divided among ethnic lines. Clinton also visits Croatia, a new NATO member, and an EU state as of next year. Toronto police are investigating after a man was shot dead in front of a house. Police say shots were fired on Flemington Road in the Lawrence and Allen area just after midnight on Monday. A man in his 20s was found on the driveway of a home with gunshot wounds. Police say he was rushed to hospital in critical condition, but has since died of his injuries. At least 3 people have been taken into custody. The San Francisco Giants are world champions for the second time in 3 years. Marco Scutaro delivered a go-ahead single with 2 outs in the 10th inning, and the Giants swept the Detroit Tigers with a 4-3 World Series victory last night. Series MVP Pablo Sandoval and the underdog Giants celebrated in the center of the diamond at Comerica Park after winning 6 elimination games in this postseason. Sandoval had 3 homers in Game 1 alone to earn him the honors. Just a recap on some of the games on the docket last night. The Atlanta Falcons are still perfect. The Falcons upped their record to 7-0 with a convincing 30-17 victory over the Eagles in Philadelphia. The New York Giants edged the Dallas Cowboys 29-24 and now lead the NFC East with a 6-2 record. Chicago upped its record to 6-1 with a 23-22 win over Carolina. Robbie Gould was a hero, booting a 41-yard field goal as time expired. The Steelers were all over Washington rookie phenom Robert Griffin III as they rolled to a 27-12 win over the Redskins. And in North Bay weather, today wet snow mixed with ice pellets, changing to a few rain showers this morning. Wind northeast at 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50. Temperatures steady around +2 for the day. Tonight, rain with wind from the north at 30 kilometers an hour, low of +1. Tuesday, rain with wind from the north again at 30 kilometers an hour, but this time with a high of 8. It's currently 1 degree. For more news, please go to our website at theclaw.ca. For CRFM News, I'm Jake Bean.